Omaha, Nebraska. It is 10 p.m. outside the Black Swan gas station on the I-29. Clifford Turner and Megan Marie are a couple of youngsters leading to a beaten-up old Mercury Bobcat. The rattle of the car's engine is the only sound, apart from a brisk wind that seemed to cut across them under the fluorescent lighting that flickered from time to time. "You don't think Dave was right, do you?" Megan asked as she finished filling the battered red car. "Nah, I doubt it. Dave is a vivid imagination," Clifford replied, his bottom lip unsure. "Oh yeah? Kinda holding that gun a little tight?" She smirked, as she placed the pump back, nodding toward his hands. A Browning semi-automatic pump action, tightly slung in his hands. "Well, it's not like you didn't come prepared," he remarked, checking out the Glock on her hip. She reached down and gently slapped the butt of the gun and shrugged. Better safe than sorry. Clifford pumped the shotgun and let it fall into his right hand. His eyes scanned the chilly open fields that surrounded this half-deserted gas station, the creak of a half-broken windmill in the distance, the uneasy tread of cattle on a farm, the gentle tick of the car's engine as it cooled. "Cows are getting jumpy," she said, hearing the same rustle of hooves as Clifford did. They both stared out into the blackness of the night, the tall grass whipping up as the wind poured at it. "Maybe Dave's been telling these cows zombie apocalypse stories too." Clifford grinned. Megan laid her hand on the Glock on her hip. She wore jeans, dirty and holed. She dressed in a hurry. Clifford watched her as she stepped silently across the forecourt, her kickers crunching into the gravel trap at the edge of the concrete as she stood glaring out across the horizon. The embers of what was sun left a blood-red stain across the fields as blackness slowly took over. "What is it? See anything?" Clifford asked nervously. Megan threw her palm into the air. "Shush! I can hear something." "It's just the cattle getting spooked by the rain," he chuckled, as he looked into the sky, heavy rain clouds gathering. Megan's eyes squinted hard, the breeze fluttering her eyelashes and whipping at her fringe, that hand tentatively hovering over the butt of the Glock. Her lips parted and dry, the silence periodically interrupted by that stampeding sound. No, it's not cows." Clifford stepped around the car and watched as she stood motionless. "What you see, girl?" he asked nervously, as he brought the shotgun back up to both hands. Megan's eyes focused intensely on the shapes heading toward them across the grass. "It's not cows, bro." Across the swaying grass, 20 or so shadows moved quickly, too fast for cattle. "Zombies!" Megan screamed, as she turned to race back toward the car. "Oh shit!" Clifford yelled, popping the door open. Start the car," she yelled, as she ran hell for leather across the concrete and skidded to a halt near the car that Clifford was trying desperately to start. The black shadowy shapes that stumbled and roared toward them gave way to humans as the strip lights illuminated them. Crossing the road that separated them and reaching the forecourt, half-eaten rags of human beings, with blood and pus oozing from gaping wounds. Old men and young men, old ladies and little girls, echoes of the humans they once were, but now hell-bent on catching and eating the living. Start it!" Megan shouted as he turned the key again and again, trying to flip the engine. "It's dead, the battery's dead," he replied, panicking. Megan slammed the door shut in frustration and turned to the pile of bodies making their speedy way across the forecourt. "Then we fight." "Oh fuck," Clifford cried. Dave was right, as he jumped from the car and cocked the Browning, taking aim at a single zombie, a red-shirted waiter with a blood-covered apron. He screamed and clawed the air as he scrambled to get Clifford. "Oh my God, I can't believe I'm going to kill a real person." Megan cocked her pistol and aimed true. "It's not a person. It's the asshole that short-changed me at the 801 Chop House." Clifford lowered his gun and cocked an eyebrow. "Haha, oh yeah, eat shit, you fucker," as he blasted his shotgun and hit the waiter's shoulder that sent him into a spin under the cold blue fluorescent lights. Fountains of blood followed a huge chunk of flesh that exploded away as the man stumbled and gargled in his own blood and spit. Eventually he lost his legs from underneath him and fell to the floor with a sickening thud that smashed his face wide open. Megan looked on in awe, seeing the waiter fall apart on the concrete. Actually, I think it was the Italian guy. What? Clifford screamed. Well, he's covered in blood, it's hard to see, she yelled back. Holy crap, Megan. What? You killed him because he was a zombie, not because he shortchanged me. Yeah, but still, now I feel bad. Get ready to feel terrible, she smiled, as she pointed her Glock at the rest of the zombies heading toward them. She stepped forward, hand on hip, a warrior in the making. Let's do this, she roared, as she pulled the trigger to the sound of an empty clip. Yeah. Might want to try some ammo, Clifford laughed as he cocked his Browning and fired it into the crowd of zombies, flying at them full on. Each shot spun or floored another one. He hit a little girl in a gingham school dress, square in the face, and flipped her backwards like a rag doll. Oh shit, sorry little girl, he yelled, as he furiously reloaded, with the shells packed into his pockets. Shoot them, he screamed at Megan, as she scrambled for the magazine in her back pocket. I'm out, she cried, realising she didn't bring ammo. The store, as she turned to run toward the gas station, a broken down wooden fronted shithole that just might have some ammo inside. Oh crap, she said. Oh crap, said Clifford, turning to follow her, hot on her heels. The couple dashed across the open concrete to the broken down building that still looked like it had supplies inside. Zombies careered past their car and smashed it into bits. Windscreen splintered, hood caved in as a dozen zombies threw themselves all over it, climbing and clambering towards the gas station. Clifford bashed the door open and the metal lock flew off into the building. Where's the cashier? Megan asked, panting hard. There isn't one. I was just going to take the gas and drive off. What? Megan screamed. Yeah, 'cause stealing the gas is the thing to worry about, Megan, he yelled, spitting at her. They both froze and turned together to look outside at the forecourt. The concrete was smothered in zombies, not a single inch of their view uncluttered with the blood and rags and screaming of the Walking Dead. We're fucked, Megan whispered to herself. Forget that. Just go and get some ammo, Clifford said in a deadpan voice, and dragged Megan away to the counter. She clambered behind the boxes and discarded magazines to find a rack of ammunition in a small brown box. Got it. But Clifford was already gone. He stood outside the shop firing indiscriminately at the horde of living dead. One of his shots hit a fat truck driver with half of his head missing. The sheer weight slammed into the ground, where another half dozen tripped over him. Clifford spun left and blasted a little boy in the face. Gun cocked again, he spun to the right, blowing a huge hole in a young Chinese girl's head and spewing her brains across the shop window. Haha, nice, Megan smiled. Yeah, could do with some help here, Em, Clifford yelled, as he quickly reloaded, watching most of his shells drop to the floor and roll away. Get back, she screamed as she scrambled over the magazines to the door. A tall truck driver, a zombie, had broken loose from the pack and was heading right for him. He grabbed Clifford's leg and yanked him clean off his feet, accidentally setting off the shotgun, which blew a hole in the trucker's chin. Clifford tried to avoid the river of infected blood that oozed from the hole and right down onto him. Suddenly he was clear of it. Megan had reached him and was hauling his ass back to the door, which she slammed shut to a mutual sigh of relief. Sharing a quick look of relief with each other, the window darkened. The entire building was now being smothered in the black cloak of zombies, thrashing and tearing at the timbers. Taking to her knees as she reloaded the Glock with fresh rounds. I think we can make a break for it, Clifford said, back against the door which was now bulging with flesh-eating zombies. Rabid, hungry Walking Dead clawed their way inch by inch into the snack box, and Clifford and Megan were the snack. Megan clipped her magazine back in sharp and cocked her sidearm. All we can do is punch a hole through and get to Dave's house. It's only a mile from here, she said, thinking clearly for a moment. Clifford nodded, already loading his Browning. Both guns cocked, they grabbed a Snickers each from the candy basket and stood, guns at the ready, by the front door. They ate slowly and chomped every last crumb, then smiled at each other with a soft but reassured high five. Megan placed her hand on the door handle. Clifford aimed his gun at the first zombie pressed against the bloody glass, a thin businesswoman with no jaw. Okay, 3, 2, 1, and Megan yanked the door open, to a hail of blood-curdling screams. Well, we hope you enjoyed that short story. If you have some spare time, head on over to Jixxeo.com. Adios.